Hello fellow enthusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today is a bonus video. I don't normally post twice on Fridays, but today, July 1st, 2016, I had to post two because it is Queen Olivia de Havilland's 100th birthday, and Olivia de Havilland is an actress that I adore to no end. I can watch her movies all the time. I have so many on DVD. I just adore her so much as an actress and as a person. So for her birthday, I have decided to review one of my favorite of her movies, and one that maybe a lot of people don't know of unless you're a really big fan of hers, and one that's an earlier film in her career before she did Gone with the Wind. This is called It's Love I'm After. It is from 1937 when Olivia de Havilland was 21 years old. It's Love I'm After starts with a play on a stage. It is Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, and the two actors on stage are Basil Underwood, played by Leslie Howard, and Joyce Arden, played by Betty Davis. And Basil and Joyce are not very friendly with each other on stage. They're not very nice. They're like saying nasty comments under their breath whenever they stop saying their dialogue. She at one point hides his face, and then in the wings off to the side they're like help and assistance, and all the stagehands are like, oh no, this is not gonna be good, and they have to like go get the stage manager. They're prepared for Basil and Joyce to be dueling it out like crazy because they've just been driving each other nuts on the stage and trying to upstage each other. But off in the balcony is a young, impressionable girl, Marcia West. She is just absolutely in love with Basil Underwood. She cannot stop gazing at him with stars in her eyes like a lovesick little girl. Even though she is a 20-year-old girl, she just cannot help it. And when Romeo dies, her heart cannot handle the fact that the actor she has loved, his character, has died and will no longer need to be saying anything. So she goes off and runs out of the balcony in tears after his character has died, saying she can't handle it because he's not in it any longer. And her family's like, alright, whatever. And Marcia is actually somewhat engaged to a guy named Henry, played wonderfully by Patrick Knowles. After the show, Basil and Joyce are kind of going back and forth, arguing and trying to one-up each other on certain things, but they really do love each other. I think they're supposed to be engaged. Marcia somehow manages to get to the backstage area and into Basil's dressing room, and Basil just eats up every word that she says. He is like putty in her hands with everything that she has to say about him. He cannot hold off his emotion as this poor girl just totally admires him and loves him, and then she runs out. Joyce has come out of her dressing room and sees Basil walking Marcia out of his room, and then she leaves, and then there's another huge fight after that, and even in their hotel room. At night, Henry actually gets to Basil's apartment that he has somewhere, and he's like, look, Marcia is totally in love with you. She needs to get over this. I need your help. We need to do something. So Basil and his butler come up with an idea to make Marcia hate him so much that she has to go running back to Henry. And he does everything that he possibly can. He barges into her family home out in the country very, very late at night, wakes up the whole house, and then he's an absolute dick to everybody at breakfast, and he does whatever he can to try and make Marcia hate him, but it's almost like whatever he does, he just makes her love him even more. So being fearful of Basil falling in love with Marcia, the butler calls Joyce and has her come to the house to kind of like blow everything up and try and talk to Marcia, but then she just makes Marcia want to run to Basil even more, and it just all becomes this crazy game. And then at the end, Marcia's like, you know, this was just an infatuation, right? I was in love with Clark Gable last year. And then Basil says, who? And Marcia turns to Henry and goes, he doesn't know who Clark Gable is. Possibly one of the greatest scenes in a movie ever. And then Marcia realizes like, oh, I love Henry and I don't like you anymore, and everything works out. But it's just hilarious how everything plays out to get to that point. What makes It's Love I'm After so hilarious is that, you know, we're so used to seeing Olivia de Havilland as Melanie Hamilton in Gone with the Wind and Leslie Howard as Ashley Wilkes in Gone with the Wind. And, you know, obviously they're both a couple. If you've seen it, they are a couple in the movie, and they're so serious. And a lot of Olivia de Havilland's great roles that she's known for, like The Snake Pit and Lady in a Cage and The Dark Mirror, she's serious. Like, she's a dramatic actress, but when she first started out, a lot of her movies were very lighthearted, and she was really cute, very bubbly, just like she was in It's Love I'm After. And to see Leslie Howard, I really don't like him as an actor. I really kind of don't like his acting in this movie because he's a little bit overboard. But it's like funny just thinking about him as like Ashley Wilkes, or like even in some of his other films I've watched, he was just like so dull and so dramatic, and then he's just hilarious. Like, Bette Davis has some good moments. I mean, I've seen some of her other comedies, her other movies. I'm not really a huge fan of hers, although I like her and I have seen a lot of her movies. But it's just so great seeing all of these like well-known dramatic actors and actresses in this movie being so hysterical. Like, I just love Olivia de Havilland in this movie so much. I remember the first time watching this and I could not stop smiling. Every time she came on scene, I was like, oh my god, she's so adorable. And like, she still put a smile on my face in this movie. She's just so cute, and her character, I think, should remind us of all of us. You know, you've ever obsessed over an actor, a singer, or whoever is famous, or you understand what she's going through. It's like that line from The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, give me a girl at an impressionable age and she's mine for life. Like, that's what I thought immediately, even the first time when I saw It's Love I'm After, was that line. And I love Marcia as a character so much because she's like the epitome of every fangirl out there, and who just thinks like her idol is the love of her life and she'll do anything to get with them. And you know, it just reminds me of culture today still. It's really not like an outdated story, and the comedy is still really funny, even if Bette Davis and Leslie Howard kind of go overboard with their acting. It's Love I'm After is such a great classic comedy movie, and I think what makes it so great, as I've been saying, is the cast, because you're not used to seeing all three of the main leads in comedies. If you're well versed in classic Hollywood, you know that they did a lot of dramas and everything like that. So to see all three of them be so funny is what makes It's Love I'm After such a great time. To however long it runs, to just sit there and laugh and have a good time and let everything go. So that was my review / rambling of It's Love I'm After for Olivia de Havilland's 100th birthday. Happy birthday to the queen of the golden age, who has outlived everyone so far, and may she have another few years to live and reign as the queen of old Hollywood. And I hope you guys go watch It's Love I'm After, because it's a great movie, and that you can see that Olivia de Havilland has a great range. If you liked my review / rambling of It's Love I'm After and Olivia de Havilland, leave your comments down below so we can further discuss anybody in this movie. We can discuss Olivia de Havilland, her other roles, whatever you want. And if you have any suggestions of what I should watch as far as classic movies, other Olivia de Havilland movies, any kind of movie at all, also leave those in the comments. And if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I'll give you a shout out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future movie reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.